One day I walked into our library and our librarian said, hey, Mindy, I think one of your students is over there under the table. You might want to check on them. So I go over and I pull out a chair and poke my head under there and I say, hey, what's going on? And she said, I'm just hiding from my troubles for a minute. I could relate. So I pulled out a chair and crawled under the table and I said, I'm kind of having some troubles too. Do you mind if I join you? She said, that'd be fine. And I said, so tell me about your troubles. And she told me about a test that she had that day that was really making her nervous, and about another thing that was going on with a friend. And the next thing I know, I hear this like, and the chair pulls out beside us and another little head pokes in. And a second student says, hey, I'm sorry to be eavesdropping, but I have some troubles too. Can I come in? And so another student crawls in and tells us that they also have that test, and that's what they'd heard us talking about, and they were really worried about it as well. And then a moment later, after we'd all shared our troubles and felt better, the bell rang, and we went about the rest of our day. I've told that story on Facebook and to my students ever since as a way of saying, hey, you're not alone as long as I'm around. I'm always going to do my best to be there for you. So in March of the following year, for the second time in my career, I crawled under a table with some stressed out students. This was in 2022, and I came out of my office into the classroom, and a student said, hey, Miss Penn, Janie is over there having a moment under the table, just so you know. She'll be okay in a minute. So I head right back into my office, and I grab these guys. These are my lovies. And I come back, and I kind of like stick them under the table. And I say, do you want one of these guys? And both of them disappear. And I headed back over and got my lesson set up for the day. And the next thing I know, there are 2 or 3 more kids under there. And they were talking about, how they'd had a bad night's sleep and they were worried about things. And so I said, hey, what can I bring you? Cold water, a hot tea, a blanket? And they said, no. We just need to be under the table for a minute. And a few months after that, I came into some seniors, a whole class of seniors. They had shoved all the tables into the middle of the room, and the entire class was under the table. They know where the lovies are, so there were lovies and blankets and yoga mats and every possible comfort object in the room was under the table with this pile of seniors. And they said, Miss Penn, we just don't know what to do with ourselves. It's senior year and everything is difficult. This past year, 4 years after the first time that it happened, I was in my advisory class, which is kind of like homeroom for you Gen Xers out there who don't know what advisory is. And I had a couple students who were late to class, and I, went and found them in the bathroom down the hall and told them to come back. And after class, one of them came up to me apologizing profusely. I'm so sorry, Miss Penn. I'm never late to class, and I'm just having all kinds of things are going on. Like, I'm about to graduate, and I'm just so upset that my friend group is falling apart. And I was like, dude, it's okay. It's okay. I'm not upset with you for being tardy. I just needed to know where you are. And this senior collapses in a pile of tears and says, I'm just so sorry, Miss Penn. It's so hard. And then she said, Miss Penn, do you remember freshman year when you crawled under the table with me when I was so upset about that test? I was floored, absolutely floored, because I told that story so many times and redacted that child's name for, anonymity purposes, that I had completely forgotten who it was. And here she was standing in front of me. And it mattered enough for her to bring it up to me 4 years later when she needed an under the table moment again. And I said, you know what? My metaphorical table will always be here for you, even after graduation. When educators say that they provide safe spaces, this is what they mean. Crawling under those tables meant, I see that you need a minute. I see that you are not ready to learn because some other thing is in the way. And I am going to protect you while you sort that out. I am going to protect you while you arrive and settle in a place where learning can happen. That's what I call human first teaching. Remember that they're humans first. My name is Mindi Penn, and I am a teacher in Horry County Schools. Thanks for listening to another one of my cool stories. For more, follow the SCEA and CEWL, cool,